Hey everyone, welcome in. This is Julie Max in the Main Stamper. I am here for your weekly Monday class. It is July 3rd, and I realize that it's right before 4th of July holiday, right? So there's probably picnics and parties and parades and fireworks and all of the fun things happening right now. But I am still here doing my live on a Monday at 8 o'clock because there's always replay, right? And I know that a lot of you do watch replay, and I also put this over on YouTube. Hi, Rhonda. So on YouTube, you'll be watching this later on tonight or after anyway. So there's really no bad time to do some stamping and crafting, right? Because eventually you guys are going to catch up. You're going to check out. So refreshing. So this is the bundle that I'm using tonight. So refreshing, right? So I thought this kind of played right into the 4th of July festivities, right? We've got the picture, and we've got drinks, and we've got flowers, and it's a really cool little set, very versatile. We're going to use it for 3 different cards. We have, I'm going to show you these real quickly. We have this one where we have the flowers in the picture. We have this one, so this is the classic lemonade with the little pink strawberries, really cute there. And then we have a more masculine card with just beverages, right? So 3 different cards for our card class today, and I'm going to show you a whole bunch of different tips and tricks on using this bundle. And also I have some really cool news to share with everybody too. Hi Sandra, so nice to see you here from the West Coast. So exciting. All right, so let's get over to my workspace because we are going to talk about the really good deals that are going to be happening. I don't want you to shop today. I don't want you to shop tomorrow. I don't want you to shop Wednesday. I want you guys to hold your orders till Thursday. So Thursday is the magic day. That's what I got. Let me transition you over. Okay, so we are, again, we're using the So Refreshing bundle. It is a photopolymer stamp set. Really awesome. We talked a little bit about drinks today. We talked about pink or yellow, obviously lemonade, right? Classic lemonade. Which one do you prefer? And obviously, as I got to realizing, pink lemonade is really like raspberry lemonade. I had pink lemonade for dinner. My husband had regular lemonade. And when we sat at the table with our drinks at dinner, I took a picture because I thought this is hilarious. I've been talking about this today on social media, and here we are drinking our pink and yellow drinks. It could not be more perfect. It was like real life mimicking my craft room time events. So anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about this amazing set. It is 2-step stamping, so you get to stamp an image and then you get to fill it in. So this is not a broken vase. This is not a broken glass, right? These are just things that are going to go inside. So you can stamp inside your lemon, you can stamp inside these leaves, you can stamp inside the flowers. This is a really cool set. What sold me on the set, I didn't realize it when I first looked through the catalog. I'm like, okay, it's a drink set, it's cool, whatever. I didn't realize that you can make teeny tiny strawberries. The teeny tiny strawberries is what got me. As soon as I saw the strawberries, I was like, I have got to have this stamp set. I have got to have this bundle. So here's kind of a close-up of these little tiny, teeny tiny, adorable strawberries. That kind of sold me on this set. Just from there on out, I'm like, I have to get this. So, and these, we'll talk about the dies as we use them. There's lots of image dies. Look at the little ice cubes, right? You can make little ice cubes. So it's just a really fun set. And the class, you're gonna get 2 of each of these kits, right? So you're gonna make 2 of each of the cards, just like always. So we have 3 cards. You make 2 of each when you purchase $35 or more. $35, that always throws my mind because $35 order gets you 6 card kits with me. And then I think, what am I doing? This is crazy. But anyway, I guess I'm super generous because I jam pack them full of all kinds of papers and boss pieces, die cuts. We'll go through the kits as we go with our cards tonight. But then I'm also throwing in for a $50 order these really fun embellishments. These are called opaque ovals, and you can see that they're oval shaped. They're definitely different and unique. They come in the Azure Afternoon, Bubble Bath, Lemon Lolly, and the Pecan Pie. So these are 4 of the new colors. So with a $50 order, you're getting, wait, I have more. With a $50 order, this is not like staged, I'm sorry, this just popped into my head. So with a $50 order on Thursday, you're gonna get 6 card kits, this gift from me, and you're gonna get, Stampin' Up is running bonus days. Oh my gosh, this starts Thursday. This is why I want you to hold all your orders till Thursday. So guys, I want you to get the most value. So with every $50 you spend starting on Thursday, going to the end of July, Stampin' Up's giving you a $5 coupon to use in August. So you're buying now, this month of July, you get to redeem them from August 1st through the 31st. They've done this before. It's been a couple of years since they've had bonus days. I'm really excited that this has come back. So you're also, like deals upon deals upon deals. Now, another thing that starts on Thursday is new online exclusives. This is super exciting. And my host code for this week is DTRUN, as in run, and get this truck, run. XPE. So if you want this little red truck, if you want this punch, there's a little stamp set. It's called Trucking Along. I got a sneak peek of it at a Stampin' Up event that I did online on Saturday. So I know what this stamp set looks like, and it is awesome. I'm going to tell you there's a palm tree, a deciduous tree, a Christmas tree, some presents, some flowers, of course the truck, there's a little gate, there's some clouds, there's a lot. There's some farm sentiments, there is Christmas sentiments. This one is going to probably, and I keep saying it, sell out. And if it comes back, we're going to be very fortunate. But I'm saying run on Thursday and put this in your cart. I don't have a price. I don't have an item code for it. You're just going to shop online exclusives when you go into the online store. But this thing, from listening to different demonstrators that haven't been able to order it yet to customers, this is going to be very popular. And I'm actually going to use this in a Christmas class in July. So you might want to have this handy if you want to do my Christmas class too. So wow, that was a lot of information I spit out there, but there we go. Now on to the best part, the stamping. Hi Patty, thanks for joining in. So happy to see you here tonight. So we're going to start with this super card right here, and I've paired Blueberry Bushel with Gorgeous Grape. And this, you may recognize this paper if you did my my 2-week countryside in mega class. This is from that paper. So we're going to talk a little bit about, there's 2 die cuts in here that look like pictures. So here they are right here. One of them, this one right here, we're going to use later on because this one is going to actually die cut out the image from our stamp set. This one does not work on any of the images. This one is a standalone item, and I'm going to show you how cool that one is as we get going here. So that's just a little peek at this right now, and we are going to pull out our card kit and we're going to work on this. So here's everything you're going to get. You're going to get 2 envelopes, 2 card bases, a little bit of twine. I'm going to separate things here. You're going to have to die cut your own picture, and you do get some embossed pieces. This is with the eucalyptus embossing folder. You're going to get some designer paper, and you get to pick. I love when you can pick a side. You get to pick a side when you make your own cards at home. I'm not choosing for you. You get to choose. And then of course you've got 2 card bases in the Blueberry Bushel. So I'm going to set that aside real quick because I have a card base ready to rock and roll here. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the 2-step stamping. So let's get some of our things set up here. So as I mentioned earlier, this adorable picture die right here will die cut your picture, and when it comes out of the die cutting machine, it's going to look like this. So it's just like this, but it's got a little slit in the top, and this little slit allows you to tuck your flowers inside. How genius is that? Now, of course, you don't have to use it in that manner if you don't want to, but you could definitely. We're going to tuck those in tonight. So you're going to use this piece right here. You're going to die cut. I don't die cut or punch or do anything with the featured set, but I will send you die cuts that kind of coordinate. I will send you embossed pieces. That's how I run my kits. So on this paper right here is where you're going to do your stamping. So we're going to stamp the flower, and I'm going to bring this stamp set back in, and we're going to talk about the parts and pieces of the flower. So we've got this branch here, and it's a broken looking branch. It's got spaces in between, and that's so that we can fit the flowers inside here. And then basically it's almost like 3-step stamping. We're going to stamp our stems and leaves, and then we could stamp flowers twice if we wanted to. So for this card, I am just using single stamping, but I'm going to share with you how to do something a little bit different. So we're going to start out with Old Olive and this lovely branch. And this is your paper that's in your kit, so you're just going to be stamping on this and then die cutting it too. So go ahead and just stamp that down in whatever green color you want. And you can, again, you can see that it looks like it's broken. It's not really broken, but it just kind of looks like that. Okay, so that's Old Olive. Now we're going to bring in Gorgeous Grape. Now I had to play with this for a few minutes to kind of figure out the best way to get this to line up with this, because it does seem like it's a little bit tricky. So as I ink it up, it's going to get a lot darker because it's in Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to just point out to you as after I put this on here. So I'm going to basically line up this big stamp right here. The bottom of it kind of fits right into this little hole right here. And let me see if I can remember how I did this. This is the tricky part. Let me see. We're going to line it and then twist it a little bit and see if that's the right way to go. And that will work. So, and this will dry a bit lighter. This is what it's going to look like after it's die cut. So you can see that right over here, like right where this line ends, there's a spot for that little flower to line up right in there. And these kind of come off this way. This one will come off this way. So as you're playing with it, you can see that that's, and then you're going to be able to die cut that with a die from the set. And it just, again, it's the outline die for this particular stamp. And if we wanted to do 3-step stamping, I did this one earlier. So again, we did the green, and then I stamped 2nd generation ink in the Gorgeous Grape, and then I came back in with, I think I had Starry Sky or Orchid Oasis. Now I can't remember which one. And I did the one that's over top. So there's a more detailed stamp. So again, greens. This is the one we just used, which is kind of a background stamp. Here it's light purple, and then I use this detailed over top. So if you have 3 different colors of ink that you can use, you can get this detailed one over top of that one, and then you can have something that looks a little bit like that. So that's just kind of a tip, but definitely this is something that you want to play with if you get this stamp set, to just kind of learn how to line these flowers up. There was a learning curve for me, I'm not gonna lie. I spent some scraps on some paper, and it is doable, but it's something that you have to, you have to kind of figure out how you're going to line those up. So I already have this die cut. I'm going to put this right into this little slot on my vase, right like so that this looks really pretty. And then to keep this in place, I'm going to just flip this over so you can see where it comes down through this side. I'm just going to use a little bit of tear and tape to hold it in place, and that way it won't slip out. So it's going to come back around to the front again. Make sure I have it exactly where I want it. So I'm holding it from the back, and I'm just going to put a little tear and tape down here. And now it is just one cohesive little piece. Isn't that adorable? Now, of course, you can do your little picture in other colors. You could do this in plain cardstock and emboss it. You can do your flowers in different colors. You probably could sneak in 2 bouquets if you were very careful, which would be fun too, right? I love the whole playing. It's just a super good time, right? So let's bring in the Gorgeous Grape again, and we're going to do a little sponging here on our embossed piece, because I love to sponge the embossed pieces and make them a little bit darker. So again, this is the Eucalyptus embossing folder. It's one of those little mini ones, those 3x6s. Comes in a 2-pack. So I'm just going to put some ink on here, and it just makes such a big difference. It really brings out the embossed pieces as we do that. So I just wanted to do that real quick. And then we're going to stamp Happiest Birthday. Did we talk about sentiments? We did not. We have 3, and I've used each one on a card tonight, which is always nice that you can see them used on cards. So this one's going to be our Happiest Birthday one. We've got Time Spent Together is the Sweetest, and then Thank You Kindly, also really nice. Oh, I didn't separate all of my die cuts. Let me continue to separate here. So we're going to take the smaller of the squares. These are the stylish shapes. I use these all the time. You guys see me use these all. I don't think a week could go by where I didn't use these. We're going to just ink this up, and we're just going to put this right in the middle. Happiest Birthday. Some really awesome font, and I love the darkness, the richness of the Blueberry Bushel. Like for a while, I liked Misty Moonlight was my favorite. Now Blueberry Bushel. Like, it's nice that we can kind of switch back and forth and choose what our favorites are going to be all the time. All right, so now we're just going to do some assembly here. So we have our card base, we have decisions, right? We have designer paper that looks like this, and we have designer paper that looks like this. And then we have this great little piece right here, which I put on the bottom, but we could also put it on the top. There are so many options. Actually, I can't remember mathematically how many options there are for switching your designer paper, switching your DSP, and then switching the orientation of the vines going up or the vines coming down, right? But for the sake of trying to keep it somewhat similar, I think I'm going to go with this one just so that we can kind of see what these two look like. And then perhaps you might see this again soon, maybe another color. Maybe I'll continue to play with the placement of my paper. So I'm going to just have the little checks up here, and we're going to just make that little mat. So this is a 4-inch wide paper, so it's perfect size. We're going to bring this back down here again and add this to the bottom. And these will kind of snug together. They can overlap a little bit depending on how far down you put your designer paper. Just trying to keep in mind that you want a nice blue border. We want to see the blueberry bushel base. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to put our little seat belt here across this section right here. Now you can always choose to butt it up against the cardstock if you want to, or you can overlap it however you want to. You can put it down on the cardstock. But I like the transition between the two papers with just something in the middle that kind of covers it up. And that's the way I send those along. So this is kind of your bones of your card, right? And then we're going to go ahead and put this on with some dimensionals. So before we put the dimensionals on here, probably looking for dimensionals that are like not used. Maybe we'll glue this on first. I did put this on here with just straight glue. So let's kind of go around our tape, and the top of this might stick up a little bit, so I'm going to just put this over here. We're going to keep this off to the right side. I had to think about that for a minute. Off to the right side. And as we flip this over, I forgot, we have some glue here, but I'm going to put a dimensional right there as well. So the top of the flower will actually end up being held up with a dimensional. So there's 5 and 6 with the flower included. So these are going to come off here. And we're going to pop this onto our card right over this way. Probably right about here. There we go. So pretty. Love it already. Now for this part, we're going to overlap it. So I really only need dimensionals in 3 places. So I know that I need them on this side, as one sticks to my finger. And then I need one down here on the bottom. Yes, just like that. And then this section right here will adhere with glue, or tape if you prefer tape. So we'll pop those like so. And then we're going to kind of overlap this one here. We'll go right about here, I think. And that might be a little bit crooked, so we'll just make a slight adjustment. So pretty, right? Oh my goodness. Love these cards. And then you've got a little bit of this great twine. Now this twine comes from the In Color pack. So you get all 5 of the In Colors in the 2023-2025 In Color jute twine. And you only need a little bit. So let's see if I can make a small bow here. This is kind of yarn-like, I feel like. It's kind of a stiff yarn. It's almost like a woolen yarn. So you don't need a lot to make a cute little bow. Oh, I put it up here. I was going to put it down here. And then I thought, nope, I put it up here. So I did actually put it up here at the edge of the vase with probably a glue dot. I think I'm going to put the glue dot right here on my project and then put my little bow down. Now this twine is super curly. So you can see how it kind of boings all on its own, and it's not the humidity. It just does this all the time. So super cute little boingy ribbon there, right? And the last thing we're going to add to this card is some embellishments. So with these embellishments, I try to pick an embellishment, pick a suite, and then create the cards that kind of go with the colors of my embellishments, because I want it to make sense to you guys. So I kind of I threw these up here. They look like, to me, they kind of look like little jelly beans. I wasn't sure if I wanted these little blue embellishments down here, so I kept mine up high, up top here, and it just gives just a little bit of fun to that. So I'd love to know which one you think you like better. Do you like the large check or the small? As I look at them, I'm like, man, I always have a hard time. Once I change it up, I really have a hard time deciding which one I like better. So let me just pop over. I see Jess on. Hi Jess, good to see you. Okay, so that is card number 1. So you'll be making 2 of these with the card kits this week. Let's move on to card number 2. Card number 2 is so cute. This is the pink lemonade card. I'm calling it pink lemonade card, even though the lemonade in this card is not pink. I feel like there's so much pink in this card. It's just super fun. So here is our card kit again, 2 envelopes, 2 of the thick white card bases. And we'll set those aside. You're going to get 2 of these embossed. This is the Countryside Blossoms embossing folder. So we're going to use one of those. This paper is fun because the back side of it has strawberries on it. How cool is that? This actually could work. We may actually do this. I might make the flip here. And then we've got a little piece of granny apple. You're going to have these cute little pieces right here are going to be for your strawberries. So you'll have to have this if you want to make strawberries, right? You're going to get your die cut for the circle here. Again, stylish shapes. And I've got a couple more pieces of white here, which we will talk about as we start assembling our cards. Let me set that card kit aside, bring in my white card base, and here we go. So this is the one time that I'm not going to actually deepen down the bubble bath here. I'm actually just going to put this on like a plain layer, and that may surprise you because normally I'm grabbing my sponge jobbers, my blending brushes, all the things, right? But in this case, I really did want this to be the lightest pink. I didn't want to darken my pink. I wanted it to be really light. Now when you pop it onto your card base, just keep in mind there kind of is an orientation to this. Some of the flowers are going to be upright, so just make sure you're not putting them on upside down. Also, paying attention to how your card opens is important. Okay, so I have some granny apple, and I have this really cute strawberry. Now this pack of paper is the Eclectic Designs, which is really eclectic, by the way. So we're just going to pretend this is kind of how it would look, right? So it could work. It could work. I may make it work. I'm not sure yet. I'm not fully committed, so I'm going to hold on that. Let's talk about what we have to do to die cut. So I do have some things that are already die cut out so that I could share with you. I put them in a little cup. I didn't want to lose my berries. They're so tiny. They're so stinking adorably cute. All right, so you have this, looks like a magic carpet, right? It's not a stamp, so it's not a stamped image. It's just actually a die, and you're going to see it right here in your dies, and it's got some little grooves in it, so it actually does create some texture as well. Now, if you don't like these little tassels, you could trim these off, and then you just have almost like an oblong square rectangle. I guess that would be like an oblong rectangle, like almost a diamond shape. So you could cut off the little tassels if you wanted to. So you're going to be using this piece of paper in your kit to die cut this item, and that just kind of gives our picture of lemonade something, and these little strawberries something that it can sit on, so it doesn't look like it's floating in the air. So we will have that's already die cut, so we don't have to worry about that. We are going to stamp our picture on this one. Now you're going to be die cutting the strawberries. These are probably some of the smallest dies. There are some small dies, but these ones, wow, holy small. So I've used Flirty Flamingo for the strawberries. Now you get 3 with 1 die cut, and you get 3 of these cute little toppers. And this is Granny Apple and Flirty. So you'll be using these little strips of paper to die cut out your cute little strawberries, and they're going to look like this. They are so adorable. So here's 3 of them. Now I didn't assemble one, so I could just show you how tiny this little topper is. Like, you want to be careful to not lose it. It is like minuscule. It's like crumbs. So anyway, to pop this on, you might be like, how do I put this on here? Of course, I'm using the glue. I'm just going to put a little tiny dab of glue right here at the top of my strawberry. Take your pick tool as your friend, and just make sure you have the right side up, and then you pop it onto your little berry, and just like that, we have 3 little berries. Oh my gosh, they're just so cute, right? These strawberries, I'm telling you, this is what sold me on the set. I just think they're adorable. Okay, so let us do this cute little picture, because I'm going to show you how I did this. And we'll set my strawberries over here on this magic carpet. And I see that I picked up some purple ink here. Of course, everything's kind of damp because it's so humid. So I'm going to try to move over this way a little bit. Let me grab out the next set of inks, because We're going to be using Lemon Lolly, Daffodil Delight, Bubble Bath, and then Granny Apple Green for the sentiment. So let's do Bubble Bath first. And I gotta find all of the stamps. So this time we're using the outline of the picture. So I'm gonna stamp that on here first. So it's gonna give me the nice outline. And of course you can do this in Pool Party. You could do this in any color. I have actually been playing with this a little bit and doing it in all kinds of colors. Now this part right here is the handle and the top. And I'm just gonna do some two-step stamping. I'm gonna try to line this up as best I can. And so it kind of just covers some of the handle, some of the top, just kind of fills that in a little bit. That's the first part of the two-step stamping. Now this part right here is actually, I'm going to put this away. We don't need this one anymore. We're bringing in Lemon Lolly for the lemonade. Now this is the filler, right? So this is the filler stamp, and it's going to just go right inside our picture here, like so. And there it is, just like that. Now we're going to add in the lemons. So this is really fun. This is the Daffodil Delight, the cutest little lemon stamp ever. So this just gives us a darker yellow to work with. So I'm going to do two of them side by side, just like so. So there's my two side by side. And I want to get a third one up here, but I don't want it to overlap. So I am actually going to use, and I did, a little bit of Stampin' Up masking paper. So this is really handy paper. So what I did was I die cut from the die set. I die cut two of these little orange or lemon, the rounds. So there's two dies right here. So you can do, you can do it at the same time. So it gives you this little sticky paper. Like it's very thin, but also very sticky. So I'm just going to use this to mask my existing lemons. So that's right over top of my existing lemons. And then I'm going to come in here with my third lemon. And I'm just going to stamp this so that it is up to the top like that. And then when I peel this little mask away, I have a lemon that looks like it's behind the other two lemons. So that's how you're going to, and I save these. I've used these many times today. So that's how we're going to do that. And then after you die cut it, you're going to have an image that looks just like this. So it looks really cute die cut as well. I'm going to clean this one up real quickly because we are using the lemons will become oranges for our last card, which is just a lot of fun when you can do things like that. So I like to also add a little bit of ink along my picture. I did it for this card. It kind of blended it in a little bit more. So if you don't like the white line look, you can definitely do that. And I just took a dauber and I kind of just went along and added just a little bit of, you don't even have to go all the way in. You can still leave some white there, but just to kind of soften that white line look, just like so, just like that. So there it is. There's our little picture, which is going to go right on our card. It's so cute. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to have to stamp for this card would be our sentiment piece. So you've got this nice big stitched circle. We're going to bring in Granny Apple Green. It kind of ties together the greens from our strawberry stems and then a little bit of green here on the cardstock. And this says time spent together is the sweetest. So I'm going to ink this up in my Granny Apple, and I'm going to stamp this kind of to the right, upper right section so that I can get the rest of my things onto this card. And now we're just on to final assembly. So we've done our stamping, the magical die cutting occurred, and I am going to, just like before, I'm going to just switch this up, and we're going to try it with this strawberry paper just to see if we like it. The pink is really cute though. I feel bad putting down this pink side. It's a really cute pink, but I like to change it up a little bit. And that's the fun. When I send you card kits, I also try to look for designer paper and design my cards so that you can, when you get these kits in the mail, you can decide to do this on your own. Or maybe you prefer the pink, right? So maybe the pink is your thing. So this card, I have everything flat on here. I didn't add dimensionals to any of the elements. And that way it's just a little bit nicer to pop in the mail, a little less thick. But you can definitely pop up some dimensions if you want to as we're going. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to put down is my sentiment piece. I can hear some fireworks outside my craft room window here. It is that time of year, so we've got some neighbors. We always have neighbors that put off some fireworks. It's really awesome. All right, and then I'm going to bring my little blanket, and I kept this white so it would be very neutral here. I'm going to bring this down here. I'm just going to kind of make sure that is where I want it. Yes. Okay, so we're going to glue down this white, and this could be sponged. You could even actually color in some of these little elements that are on here if you wanted to. So you could definitely do that. It does take up a good width of the card, this little shape right here. All right, and next is going to go down our little picture here, which of course you could change the color on. And let's see if I can get this. If I can get this on here just about in the right area, this little strawberry will still be visible right there, sneaking out a little bit. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to throw on my tiny little strawberry. So actually I'm going to pop glue right onto the card base itself, and then put the strawberries on this way. Kind of layer them on there. These are so cute. I just love these little strawberries. These would be really cute on a mini card too, the little 3x3 cards. This guy's going to be kind of hanging out here this time. He's not going to be quite as snug. So there is card number 2. The only thing missing here now is the bling. So we're going to bring in the bubble bath because it matches our bubble bath theme. And we're just going to put a couple of these up here on the top side. And then I have one down this way, right about there. You turn that. So with the ovals, you can kind of turn them to put them into like facing different directions if you want to. So there we go. Time spent together is the sweetest. Really like that one a lot too. I don't know. I'm really a fan of the pink. So this is kind of one of those card classes, I think, where you get to kind of like start deciding what do you guys think is the best option. So Jess says she likes the large check from the last, perfect, from the last card. Oh, that's awesome. So my comments are coming across super slow. So if I'm not catching up with you, we will catch up at the end. So that's card number 2. Now we're going to move on to our third card. And our third card has like a little bit more of a masculine feel to it, right? I kind of wanted to do something in the blue-green concept. And I thought Lost Lagoon Pool Party would be perfect. Love these colors together. Now again, if you don't get this bundle, this is not your thing. There's enough pieces here to do really awesome cards with whatever items you might have on hand. So you're getting this piece of embossed Pool Party. This is from the Basics 3D Emboss folder. I absolutely love it. And you're going to get some designer series paper. If you don't recognize this, this is from the Irresistible Blooms. And once again, you probably, depending on what kind of theme you're doing with your card, you could use either side. I love that so much. I felt like these lines worked out really well here to help line up my sentiment. Now I'm going to go ahead and punch some pieces here for your sentiment for you as well. So you've got these pieces, two of those. And then we have this big white one that's going to layer here. And then we are going to be stamping. This is the fun part. This is going to be like, if you like stamping, this is going to probably be the most fun card that you're going to make, because you're going to stamp this fantastic setup here. We have all kinds of ink. For this one, I've got Smoky Slate, Pumpkin Pie, Lemon Lime, Pool Party, Lost Lagoon, and I need back Lemon Lolly. So this is a stamp heavy. You can see all the colors here. Really great color palette, right? Stamp heavy part of the card class. So we are going to bring in our glass. So we have 2 pieces to our glass. We have the outline shape, and then we have the shape that fills it. So similar to our picture. So you've got a piece of paper here, and you should have enough room to do 4 glasses. These are all going to get die cut out, by the way. So don't have to fussy cut. Now, if you didn't want to die cut them or what have you, you could actually just put 4 glasses right across here and be completely content with that. You don't have to fill them, you don't have to die cut them if you don't want to. So we had a fill right here. This is our fill. Okay, so we're going to start with the Lemon Lolly. I like to start with a light one first. So Lemon Lolly is going to come in, and we're just going to fill in one of our glasses with lemon. And this is where I need to get out my little chamois here. So I'm going to be cleaning up in between. Lemon. Oh, while I have lemon out, let's do the lemons. Let me see. Lemons. we're going to do, okay, so again, two-step stamping. There's outline. So we'll just do lemons off of here. There's the outline for lemons. And again, it's very light, but I want it to be light. And then this is the inside. I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to cover up my lemons. And it's so light you can barely see it, but it's good. We've got lemons there. Let's bring in lemon lime. So this will be our second glass right here. And we'll fill in lemon lime. And then I will clean this, and then we will bring in our leaves. So for this one, I chose to do, because we have a lemon, we have an orange, and then we have some leaves. So we're going to do two-step stamping with our leaves. So we're going to do the outline in full ink. Then we're going to do the second part off once, and then second generation ink on top. So we've got our little lemon lime leaves. Now we'll bring in the pumpkin pie. This is a fun one. Okay, so pumpkin pie is going in next. And there it is. Clean that off. Now the orange. Oh my gosh, this is so cute in orange. I love this orange. So is that not the most adorable little orange slice? Now it was a lemon before, now it's oranges. It could also be a lime. So there's so much diversity when you start thinking, you know, all the different ways you can use things. Now we're going to do a pool party one. So a cool blue drink. We're going to do pool party ink in here. So there's all of our glasses. Aren't they so cute together? And then we're going to do, again, we're going to do the leaves. So that would be the lemon, Julie. Let's find the leaves. My goodness, there's so many stamps here. Okay, we're going to clean these off really quickly because I have green leaves. Now I want blue leaves. And happening now in my craft room, a ladybug. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a ladybug crawling on my Stampin' Scrub. So there's always something crazy happening here. All right, we're going to do, again, the full strength of the outline. And then we're going to stamp off for the inner section, the two-step stamping. So we're getting a lighter blue leaf. So you're going to die cut all of these things to create this fun tableau here on this card. So I did the die cutting earlier because that just makes it easier, and I wanted to share. This is just so cool. I love these little glasses. So we've got 4 little glasses here, right? We have lemons. We have 2 lemons, and when you die cut, you're going to get 2 separate leaves, so you're going to have an extra that you can put aside unless you want to use both of them, but I just used one and set one aside from the leaves. But the lemons come like this. And I only wanted 1 lemon on my card because it really is a big lemon. So I brought in my paper snips, and I decided which lemon looked like a more full lemon, which is this one. And I just kind of rounded it a little bit. So it's a little bit of a rough looking lemon, but it is a lemon. So just kind of round that a little bit. And then you have a single lemon, and then you have the partial lemon, which I just didn't want to use because it just didn't look like a full lemon. All right, ladybug. I will set you aside. I do not want to injure you. All right, let's do some assembly on this. Oh, we didn't stamp the sentiment. Let's stamp the sentiment, then we'll go to assembly. So Lost Lagoon, this is the 3rd and final sentiment in this set. This says, "Thank you kindly," which is just a really nice Southern thank you, right? So here we go. We've got room to put this right on this punched piece. I love the banner Pick-a-Punch. It is also one of my favorite. It's probably one of my favorite punches. And I do use this one a lot too because it's just great for sentiments. You can do 3 different sizes. You can do, this is the 3/4 and the 1 inch size. You can also do a 1/2 inch size, but I find that for sentiments you usually want the 3/4 or the 1 inch size. So let's do some assembly here. And we're going to just go ahead and put adhesive on the back of our stamped sentiment and then pop this right onto the back of the Lost Lagoon. This is such a nice rich color, and it's actually considered a subtle, which is funny to me because I feel like it should be not a subtle. I feel like it's darker than a subtle. Now on your card, you can decide if you want the embossed or the debossed side up. So I think this one is a really fun one to put the debossed side up. So the embossed side, which I'm putting down here, has all the little lines that come forward, but the debossed side has the lines that go inward. So I think that's kind of fun with this pattern. So I've chosen to put the debossed side up, but again, that's coming to you just like this, so you can decide however you want it. Now we're going to build on our white paper. So this white paper is going to come over here, but we're going to put this designer paper, and I am going to stick with the little dotted lines here because I do feel like it just works better. Even though I have leaves on my glasses, I feel like I like this one better. We're going to put this quite close to the bottom because we're putting our glasses at the top. But I do like to leave a little bit of white sticking out here, maybe 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, something fun like that. And then you have to decide how you want to line up your glasses. Do you want some of them to be clinking, like cheers? You can change up the order. So you can decide which order you want them in. I mean, you may be making these in all different kinds of colors, right? I did keep the 2 with the leaves to the outside. So I think I'm just going to continue to do that. And I will put these 2 together kind of in this way. So these guys over here, lemon and lime, they're clinking a little bit here. So you can kind of do your little cheers. And our little leaf can go up here at the top of this one. And our little lemon can go down here at the bottom of the yellow one. So a little bit of adhesive there and just kind of add that in there. It just adds a little bit of fun. And then for these 2, I guess I'm going to do this in the same order. You know, sometimes I mix it up so you guys can see something different, but sometimes I'm like, no, it's got to be like this. And the only reason I'm doing that is the fruit ones are now in the middle and the leafy ones are on the outside. I guess I could have switched blue and green. Didn't think of that before I put them down. So I decided to keep the last 2 in their full upright position. And I'm going to put the leaf here on the pool party beverage. And the little orange. Oh my gosh, I love this. And I was thinking you probably could slice this and stick it into the glass a little bit if you wanted to as well. But for now, I'm just going to tuck this on here. Just kind of like so. And then this sentiment is going to come down on here, probably about here. So you can kind of use those little straight lines that are in your designer paper. That's always nice, right? It's like a little grid built in to help you decide how that's going to work out really well. And then on the back of this, I used dimensionals to pop this down. So let me grab out some dimensionals. We'll do all the 4 corners. Then we'll see how many we need to fit in the middle to make it sit really nicely. I'm thinking we're going to go like this. That looks very sufficient. All right, so off these all come. One more. And then this is going to come on here. And I like that the little leaves, they can stick up off the top, which is really nice. Then it doesn't look like it's all squished onto the paper. So use that to your advantage. So cute, right? And then the last thing I did was I took some of these little, the little lemon limey ones. I actually stuck these in the glass, so it looks like there's just something floating in the glass, just so that these ones would kind of cohesively go on. Because they're really, this blue I thought was too blue for here. And so, you know, this is the embellishment that I'm using this today. So I thought I'll just pop those into the glass here. They look like this little yellow glass is extra special. And there is our last card for tonight's class. So let's get them all out. I love to look at them at the end and see the tableau of beautiful cards. So here's our more masculine, thank you kindly. Then we have a very, very feminine, and I switched that one up too. We did some switch ups with that one. And then we have, of course, we have one with, you know, blue and purple too. So these are the 6 cards that are in this week's card kits to go in the mail. If you're interested in getting any of them this week, let me pop back over, check on my comments. And I see Just likes the pink paper. I think I like the pink paper too. The opposite side, I believe, is Calypso Coral. Hi Janice, thank you. The last one's your favorite. Oh, that fun one with the glasses. That's awesome. Thanks, Jess. I'm glad you like the cards. The Calypso Coral is just cute because it has little strawberries in it. So it kind of depends on which section of designer paper you get and how those little strawberries play on the card. But it is fun to decide, right? It's fun to have options. If the opposite side had like black and gray or something, you'd be like, I'm not using that side at all. But sometimes it's kind of fun to check them out and see which ones you like. So that is our card class. How'd we do? Oh gosh, we did so good tonight. It's 45 minutes in and we're already done. So these are kind of quick and easy cards. I did a lot of the die cutting ahead of time just to make it easy for you guys. Thanks, Rhonda. It is a great bundle. Thanks, Patty. Awesome cards. I love them too. They're fun, and I try to do enough variety so that no matter what you're seeing, you're kind of excited because maybe you like the blue, the pink, you know. And I try to throw in a masculine one wherever I can. Masculine cards are hard. So if you missed the beginning of the class, don't forget Thursday is the magic day. Sandra, thanks for loving them. Thursday's the magic day. So Thursday is the day that you want to check out the online exclusives. Add those things to your cart that you love because people are going to be shopping, believe me. There's going to be more sets than, you know, we don't even all know, demonstrators don't know everything that's going to be out there yet. So keep in mind, every $50 you spend starting on Thursday will get you a $5 coupon. That coupon comes from Stampin' Up. It doesn't come from me. It's going to come to your email, your inbox. You're going to want to print them and save them. Don't lose those codes. They're going to have specific codes. $5 off in August, but you have to be able to put those codes in, so don't lose your codes. If you have questions on any of that, on bonus days, online store, my card class of the week, which expires on Friday, and then we go into on the next class. Sandra, good question. It will start at midnight Mountain Time. So midnight Mountain Time is when you should see the transition in the online store. And another good thing to know is that anything that's in your cart before Mountain Time, midnight Thursday, right? So that would be like Thursday at 12 a.m. will not count for the $5 coupons. So you have to actually start fresh at midnight Mountain Time, Thursday, July 6th. So you can't add things to your cart and like wait and check out because they won't allow coupons to go on previous items, which is why I say don't shop yet. You have that list ready, you have it on paper, you know what you want to get. You pop into the store, you get your things at that point. Use your host code. You're going to get my card kits. If you're over 150, don't use my host code. You're still going to get my card kits. And then you'll also be getting coupons from Stampin' Up. I think it's a really exciting time to be doing some shopping. I know that I will be checking out. I'll probably set my alarm and get up so that I can order at Mountain Time midnight. And I'm terrible with the math, but I'm thinking that's 2 a.m. for me. It might be 2 a.m. If the store, and expect jams in the store because people will be shopping Thursday, and also expect delays in shipping. They've already told us ahead of time there will be delay. I mean, we might be talking 10 days delay in shipping from their normal shipping time because they expect a lot of people to be shopping. So those are some tips. I'm going to try to come on or maybe do a blog post or an email with additional tips on how to shop the online event, how to get your bonus coupons, how they work. But if you have questions, feel free to drop them here. I will always answer all of them for you. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Enjoy the 4th of July if you are celebrating in any kind of way. Again, I can hear fireworks out my window. I'm really tempted to go check it out, but I will finish signing off with you. I really appreciate your time and keep those questions coming. I appreciate it. Check me on Positive Paper Crafters on Wednesday for Who Wore It Better. One of these cards is going to get a makeover in a new color, so I'm really excited to share that with you. And Thursday at 3, I will be back with a fun fold card. So there's so much going on this week. Remember, make the list, don't shop till Thursday. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great evening. Until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye, everybody.